I feel like diet culture sets you up to never be good enough.
Did you burn 500 calories on the treadmill today? No? Me either.
I mean, anybody can sit with us. We're just really not about diet culture.
But literally, happiness doesn't come from a low-calorie, high-intensity life. I actually do like carrots.
I do too. They're my favorite.
Welcome to the Fit Fueled Free podcast.
So basically, diets suck. Hey guys, welcome to episode 69. I'm Jenna.
I'm Danielle.
And today we just wanted to do a little bit of a more lighthearted episode. We wanted to have a conversation, do a get to know you episode, and do like a quick little intro of both of us just for any new listeners and give a little bit of background as to why we are so passionate about the things that we talk about and how we got into the professional fields and careers that we are both in for any of those of you who may not know that about us. So we just figured today would be the perfect time to kind of go over that and give a little bit of information on both of us.
Yeah, so I'm Dani. I always introduce myself as Danielle on here just because that's what I did from day one, and I have we have a flow we do at the beginning when we're starting episodes. So I've been a dietitian for 3.5 years now, and I really quickly into my career realized that, one, I have my own history of having an eating disorder and of just a lifelong buildup of diet culture that was kind of exploding. And in my healing, I thought, hey, I can help everyone learn how to lose weight and be happy. And that came to a crashing halt because that is in fact not reality. So pretty soon into my first job as a dietitian, I started to do more research about intuitive eating and about healing relationship with food and about eating disorders. And the more knowledge that I've gotten, the more that I become passionate about it. And currently I'm working at a treatment center out in Colorado. That's inpatient and partial hospitalization. And I am super in love with that role. I hate that there has to be eating disorder dietitians, but I'm in love with my role there. And I'm so happy that we are 69 episodes strong of this podcast and just talking about why diet culture needs to die.
Yeah. So I have been a personal trainer for about 4 years, I guess now. And then I've had my corrective exercise specialist certification for about a year. And I was an athlete my whole life. So I played soccer all the way until I could basically walk through college. And so kind of post graduation, and after having a horrible first job out of college, made me realize I wanted to do something that I was passionate about, and that was fitness and kind of being in that environment. But I too kind of got in with a completely different purpose that I have now. I thought, because this was like my own personal belief that, in order to be your happiest, fittest self, you had to be your smallest and shredded and, like your literal smallest version of yourself in order to be considered healthy and fit, which if you've been here for any amount of time, you know that is not our approach at all. And so after walking through my own situations with a bad relationship with food and my body and even exercise and wanting to undo those habits and those thought patterns, and want to then help others to overcome those struggles that I walk through as well, kind of landed me in this position I'm in now, where I'm still doing personal training, but my approach is a lot different in terms of what I encourage clients and people to focus on, and how they view exercise and use it as a way to honor your body, not punish it. And just talking about fueling your body, and focusing on all the things that, you can gain from exercise and not focusing so much on trying to manipulate and shape yourself into the smallest possible version.
I'm I can't handle myself right now because Sawyer learned how to break into the closet.
That's
And he just
amazing.
keeps coming in here.
How did he learn how to do that?
Because it's magnetized, so he just finally pushed his nose hard enough
And figured out that that's what
and
it
got
took.
the door to open.
That's hilarious.
Only took him 4 months to figure it out.
That's really funny.
Yeah. But yes, thank you for sharing about your lovely self. Shall we dive into some question asking?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay.
Did you have any specific ones that you saw that you were like, oh, I want to do these? I'm looking at them right now.
Not in particular. I just liked some of these questions. But I might just ask you one from every category.
Okay.
What was your favorite age growing up?
Oh man. Maybe I would say like age range, maybe elementary school, just because I feel like you're still young and there's not a ton of like the like bullying from other women. I mean, I know it can definitely happen at that age, but like at least for me, I felt like it wasn't until middle school when that really became like cliques became a problem and like you become more aware of your body, and there's more competition. I feel like kindergarten through like second grade maybe, if we're talking like a time frame. I remember enjoying that because like sports was fun, friends were fun. I feel like there wasn't really drama at that age. And you like didn't really have a lot to work. Well, depending, I mean, it's individualized, but for me, I didn't have a ton to worry about. Like I was able to be a little bit carefree and relied on my parents to get me to bed and keep me fed and stuff. So
I'm glad you had that through age 7.
well, it didn't stop there, but
life is fun.
Oh man. Do you want to answer the same one, or do you want me to like? Do we want to answer the same ones for each other? Just like go back and forth with different ones.
Let's do different ones.
Okay.
Let's get crazy.
Okay. All right. Here's a little one that kind of has to do with your career. If you could eat only one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? I feel like I've maybe asked you this before.
Macaroni and cheese.
Any memories with it or?
Well, whenever I would visit my grandparents growing up, both sets of them knew of my macaroni obsession. And one side of the family would tell me that I was going to turn into a macaroni noodle. And then the other side would be telling me to like not eat so fast because they were worried about me. And so I was being rooted for and also cautioned with my macaroni eating abilities. And it wasn't like that was all I would eat or anything. It was just I loved it, and that's what my grandparents would make for me because they knew that it was my favorite.
Yeah. Okay.
And it just forever, 30 years strong.
There almost. You go. Yeah.
Ugh.
Do you have a favorite brand? I know I'm asking you multiple questions in one.
So
it's cheating.
Whatever. I don't care. I'll talk about macaroni and cheese for hours. Right now I'm on a Velveeta kick.
Okay.
But my only discrimination is that the Great Value brand from Walmart is trash, but otherwise and also macaroni from the restaurant Ponderosa, which I don't know if is even still in existence, but those two suck, but otherwise macaroni is great.
Tell you how you really feel. That's funny.
What annoys you the most?
Gosh. Do we want to narrow this down in terms of like the things that we talk about on our podcast, or just like in life in general?
I mean, you could do one of each, like a general pet peeve and then a diet culture pet peeve.
Okay. I feel like things happen frequently that annoy me, and I'm always like, oh, if I ever get asked what a pet peeve is, this is what I'll say. And then now that I have to recall it, I can't think of it. Something I guess that in just general life is when people are like talking while chewing, but it's very like smacking their lips, and like then they chew incredibly loud and their mouths are open, and it's like, oh, I don't know. It's I would say that's a major pet peeve. It's like a petty pet peeve, maybe, but it's.
I think they are all petty,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
Yeah. I guess it really annoys me when fitness professionals mislead either their followings or their clients with like a blanket statement of like, oh, like this worked for me, it's gonna work for you, or like, I don't know if I have ever specifically blatantly see anyone post like, if you want my body, do my program, but there's a lot of programs out there where that's basically the message. They're just not saying it. And that like pisses me off to my core, because I used to do programs to look like the creator. And we've said this 1,000 times, but like you could do the exact same workouts and eat the exact same way and still look completely different from the person who you're doing the same, like who you're copying off of, because our bodies are so different. And so if you're truly a fitness professional, you know that that is not the case, and you can't promise results to anybody in that sense. So that is like infuriating to me in terms of the fitness world and diet culture and all the things.
I think that annoys Sawyer too. He's chiming in.
I appreciate it, bud. What's the career highlight that you're most proud of?
I think like I've overall enjoyed my progression, but being a lead dietitian at my last job and being able to help my team was really fulfilling for me, because I'm very much into leadership and community. So I think that specific part has been super rewarding.
Yeah.
And something I'm proud of.
I'm proud of you too.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. You're short, sweet, and to the point. I like it.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I know our capacity is limited today.
Limited. What is one work-related thing that you want to accomplish within the next year? What are your career goals?
This is easy. I just recently released a subscription-based fitness app for anyone who doesn't know. And so what's the question, within the next year?
Yeah.
I don't know if I should say the like specific amount of users that my goal is to have on it, but I have a very specific number of users.
Okay.
That I would
think you should give the specific.
Okay. Yeah. I have a pretty set number in my mind of like users that I would like to have consistently and people that I'm helping. So that is like my 1 year goal. I have goals for further down the line.
Ooh.
But for 1 year, that is, yes, what it would be.
Okay.
Okay. The next category is family, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite family tradition?
Growing up, I'm trying to think about this. So my parents are divorced since I was 5. And we spent, like when we were younger and we did the whole Santa thing, we spent Christmas morning with our mom, but as we got a little bit older, we would do Christmas Eve mass with my mom, and we would open presents, and then we would go to our dad's during Christmas Day, and that has always been really fun to because I love giving presents. I don't know if I've said this on here before, but I don't like getting presents because it gives me really bad anxiety of what my reaction is going to be to them because I can't fake anything. And so I love giving them, and doing that is like getting Christmas just like a night early was always really fun. And that's something that I've continued that Matt and I do now because we moved to Colorado. So and it was COVID. So we obviously weren't with family this Christmas, but we have been doing that tradition because I just find that really fun to do the night before.
I like that.
What is the best piece of advice you've been given by a family member?
I mean, this is so like a very simple one, but growing up, my dad, he would always his thing that he would always tell me was to dig deep. And that meant in every area of my life. And with soccer, it always meant okay, Jenna, if you're tired, dig deep. I need 10 more minutes out of you. It meant dig deep, in relationships and friendships. Even if your friend or the person is pissing you off, try to dig deep and find that grace and love to extend to them, because you don't know why they're treating you like that. Because I had especially in middle school, I had a lot of drama with friends and stuff, and so I was always, and I'm just very sensitive, so I would always get my feelings hurt or think people are being mean to me, and he'd be like, well, Jenna, dig deep, try to give them grace and love, you don't know what they're going through, da, da, da. And I don't know. I think that's always been something that stuck with me, in every aspect of my life. Just pushing me. It was never in a condescending way to oh, come on, give more. It was a very give all that you can, give your best in everything, and love to the best of your ability. And follow your heart and your dreams, even when you're discouraged, don't give up kind of deal. So that's probably what I would say for that.
I love that.
Yeah. I want to get it tattooed on my body. I just have to figure a spot. Yeah. I think that might be my next one because I've been itching for a new tattoo. So
okay.
Might be the next one in line.
That's so such an easy way to say something that means so much. I just really like that.
Yeah. If you could only teach one thing to your future child, what would it be?
I think kindness. Because for me, that really encompasses a lot of my values. And it's not just to other people, but to themselves too. Mm-hmm. I think that would be my biggest thing.
Yeah. There's a lot of hate and meanness in our world, especially right now, it feels. So,
yeah. I also just think I know I can't prevent my future kid from pain, but thinking of the dark places that I've gone in my life, and just knowing now how much more we're encouraged to talk about things. And I think my parents have been generally open, but just wanting to make sure they know that it's okay that they're struggling and they can give themselves kindness too.
Yeah.
Because I think that definitely shapes, because the saying, hurt people, right? You can't do that for yourself. You're not going to be able to be a positive member of society. So
yeah.
Which of your personality traits are you the most proud of?
Probably my ability to, I feel the fact that I view myself as pretty empathetic and a really good listener. I feel I give and create space for people. At least I hope so. but I've been told that, so I'm running with that, to like feel safe in terms of sharing where they're at and just sharing how they're doing. Like I don't know. I really like people feeling like they matter and feeling listened to. So just being someone who can be there for other people no matter what they're going through, and just be like someone that shows like that they care, like that the other person is cared for. Yeah, and that they're not alone.
Yeah. Well, I can say, I know you were not fishing for this, but I will say that you certainly do that. And
Oh.
literally, like within our first conversation, I felt like you were someone that actually cared, because you know how people ask questions all the time, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
actually like want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
that was not, I feel like that's part of why we became friends, is because we both value that.
Yeah.
And you are very genuine when you ask people
Oh.
things. So you are right. That is a great trait.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I appreciate the little hype up. If you could time travel, when and where would you go?
I'm not changing things, right? I'm just visiting. Although I don't know if you can visit without changing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess whatever you, yeah.
I would really like to go back to like when my grandmas were young women, like were in their 20s, and just like you know the movie A Wonderful Life, where
Yeah.
the his angel comes and like
Mm-hmm.
takes people? Like I wish that I was able to just like see what was going on,
Yeah.
because they're very inspiring women. They're both gone now, but very inspiring women to me, just with what they did for their families. I don't know that they were the best feminists, but that's okay because they really showed up for their families in really incredible ways. And I would just be curious to see like what were they like when they were my age, because I think they both had very, very difficult lives. And I wish I had been able to ask more questions
Mm-hmm.
about them while they were here. I have a small story about how my grandparents like met and got married on my mom's side, and that's really beautiful to me. And I just would love to just know more about them. It's funny, like when you're a kid, grandparents are boring for the most part. Like I always enjoyed their company, but
Yeah.
like now I love having conversations with older people because I want to learn from them and just hear about their life experience. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that I think that's what I would do.
I like that a lot.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
A genie gives you 3 wishes. What are they?
Oh man. One would probably be that my dog Nala would stay on this earth until it's my time to go. Because I can't even. I cry at every dog video I watch on any form of social media. I cry when I think about not. It's just bad. So if I had one of my wishes would absolutely be that she could live to be as old as however long I end up living. Um, let's see what else. Oh man, this is really hard. I mean, I could narrow it in and make them all about my dog, honestly, but I feel like I need to add a little bit of variety. um, Part of me says I wish that like I would wish that like the whole diet culture thing was like like that all those rules and the ramifications that so many of us have lived by were never even created. But at the same time, I feel like those of us who have found freedom, like may not be in these positions had we not walked through the things we did. Like, so it's a double-edged sword almost, it's almost like,
Yeah.
because you can easily be like, oh, I wish that there was no pain or suffering in the world, but like there's I mean, going through that sucks, but there's also so many beautiful things that have come through like those experiences as well. So it's like hard to want to wipe all of that away. I'm making this suck because I can't think of anything to add.
It's okay.
I would love to have like an infinite supply of coffee, but never have to spend money on coffee again. So if we're talking like a really silly wish, that would be
okay. It can be your wish.
Yeah, I feel like I'm too deep of a person to like come up with 3 things on the spot.
Maybe we shouldn't do this to you specifically because you need time to think about things.
Yeah, the ones that are really deep,
and those are the questions that I want to ask you.
I know. I know. I'm sorry I failed at that one.
No, it's okay. If you have an infinite supply of coffee, does that mean that I can have your coffee so I also get it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll ship you some. I would like to be able to teleport.
Oh.
If I had a wish, I would teleport. There we go. Light bulbs are starting to come on. So then I could be like, oh, I want to go to Colorado. Close my eyes, I'm there. Oh, I want to go to Hawaii. Close my eyes, I'm there. There you go. Yeah, I need a little mental break for a second. If you're at a party, where can someone find you?
Likely on the dance floor, even though there are not always dance floors. I'm always dancing.
I knew that answer.
And my friends would probably also say crying somewhere. But we've been working on that.
We have been.
Yeah, so we'll just go with solid dance floor.
Okay.
Okay, this is a simple question, Jenna. Are you ready? Very lighthearted. Would you rather have your dishes or your clothes be magically cleaned?
Dishes. I hate dishes. I hate doing them. The dirty food in the sink grosses me out. Yeah. All of like the big pans, I'm always like, I ask Landon to clean our cast iron skillet and the crock pot. And he's always like, babe, you want me to show you how to clean it? I'm like, nope. I know. I just don't want to do it. I hate dishes.
Gosh. That's so
the
funny.
Worst. Yeah. I want to ask you like a little and deep question that I don't know the answer to.
Also, while you're thinking about the question, can we just talk about this quote that says, anytime you reveal personal information to someone else, it increases intimacy between you and the other person? So let your guard down and don't be afraid to ask and answer these deep questions.
Yeah, I guess we're moving up on our level of intimacy. I thought we were pretty high up there, but
so did I.
Do you trust your own memory? Why or why not?
So I'm laughing because I have a hard time with that because of some of my mental health issues, like my trauma-related things. Sometimes it's hard to believe that some of those things happened. And I think like my social anxiety too, just like having a hard time believing certain things happen, whether they're good or bad. And just a lot of self-doubt. So that I actually do have quite a hard time like believing that I remember things correctly. And I think like I know the answer like deep at my core, but I just like second guess it a lot because it's hard to feel sure of something if you don't get, that's what, you know how much I like clarity, and if you don't get clarity on something, it kind of makes it difficult to know what really happened, and you can never see things objectively. It's only subjective, which I also really hate, because it's just so ambiguous. But yeah, that I do have a hard time with that. Well, Is there anything else on your mind today, friend?
Not really. Is there anything else on yours?
No. I do like doing these periodically because, I mean, we're not famous, so like I don't know how much people want to know our intimate life details.
Yeah.
But I do think like all of our themes of helping people heal is like knowing you're not alone in things. So I like talking about this stuff. One, because I like to ask you questions because I don't know everything about you. And also because I think like it's just nice for like I like listening to conversations other people have about
Yeah.
things like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I find this fun and just like a good little break almost from
Mm-hmm.
the frustrations of diet culture and just kind of broadening it into life every now and then. So
Yeah.
I liked our chat.
Me too.
Okay, well, thank you guys for listening to our really long pauses while we think critically about our answers to deep life questions. You can follow us on Instagram if you would like to keep up with what we've got going on. Our shared page is at Fit Feel Free. My personal page is Dietitian Dani Cast, and Jenna's is Jen Ep Fit. You also should check out her app, Level Ep Fit, to get amazing workouts. And what's the current situation with that? Any promos or anything?
Yeah, right now, all new users, you get your first month 50% off if you use code LEVELEP50 when you go to checkout. So if you follow me on Instagram, like Dani said, at JenEpFit, the link in my bio, you can click that. It takes you to my website right away. And then there's a little bit more information, some FAQs, and then you can click subscribe now. And when you go to enter in payment options, just using LevelEp50 is going to give you 50% off your first month.
Nice.
Yeah.
We also really want to hear what you guys like want to hear about. And so if you have any thoughts, hit us up on Instagram, or our Gmail account is fitfeelfree@gmail.com. We always super appreciate ratings and reviews and sharing of the podcast to help spread the good word about fighting diet culture. And we look forward to talking to you guys next week.
Bye, guys.